my favourite films is the film Solaris by Tarkovsky. Not so much the remake, whatever it was called, which is also quite good, but the original, the Tarkovsky one, is brilliant. It's based on a Stanislaw Lem story. Tarkovsky, yeah, it's great. I'm sure you know it, but it's about a spaceship orbiting a planet, and strange things happen on this spaceship. So a rescue vessel is sent out, and strange things start to happen on the rescue vessel. And all the time the planet below is basically just a sea of mist. You can't really see anything that's happening on the surface. It's just a kind of roiling, tempestuous fog covering the surface. But strange things happen on the ship. You know, people's fantasies and fears start to be realised. I think the captain of the ship, his dead wife, reappears. And it turns out that that the roiling mist is sentient in a weird way, and it's connecting with the psyches of the people in the ship, and in a way kind of producing their subconscious thoughts, almost as if their dreams are being made real. Because dreams are a little bit like mist, aren't they? And I think it's great that Tarkovsky in that film realises the externalised version of the psyche, the externalised version of the subconscious, as this mist-shrouded planet. But not a static mist, it's a mist that's roiling and turning over and making shapes, you know, and the shapes of things unbidden. But perhaps the shapes of desires, or the just shapes of casual thoughts. Because that's, in a sense, that's what dreaming is, isn't it? Dreaming is a kind of thinking. A misty kind of thinking. It's not the form of thinking that's based on putting one hard stone on top of another hard stone in order to create a solid edifice of thought. It's not that kind of thinking. It's a different kind of thinking. A thinking that relies not so much on causality as on correspondence, on similarity, on vagueness. And I'm reminded that vague, I think, is the French word for wave, and isn't necessarily a pejorative term. It means something that's in motion. It has a kind of shape, but it's not a fixed shape, it's a shape that travels. That's what waves do. And dreaming being a kind of thinking, it's a kind of thinking which isn't, as I say, it's not built out of stone, it's maybe built out of mist, in the way that Solaris seems to be shrouded in mist. And the shapes that are put together, you know, they're partly formed by the logic of the environment, but they're also formed by the logic of morning. They're also formed by the logic of human desire and human interest and interaction, and what we want. Can't separate those things. And when I say we, I don't mean individually, I mean collectively. There's a collective, not a collective unconscious in the Jungian sense, although maybe, but sets of collective desire that we as human beings with shared histories and shared embodiments might have. As parts of our psyche overlap at the point of our shared histories and shared embodiments, and we do have mind in common in that regard, don't we? It's the same as we have language in common. And our kind of psyches, our minds are mingling in that mist, in that regard. And it's productive, you know. You can't... If thinking was just about the putting of one stone on top of another, there wouldn't be any inventiveness. There wouldn't be any creativity. There wouldn't be any capacity for novelty and novel thought. You wouldn't be able to project into an imaginary future. Dreams are sometimes more like platform gamers than they are, you know, platformers. You know, they've got blocks that kind of hover in mid-air in platformers, and the characters, Ratchet and Clank or Mario or whoever, jump from one floating block to another. They're not grounded. You can do that in dreams, and you can do it not just with blocks. You can do that with ideas in dreams. You can do that kind of stepping stone aerial acrobatics in dreams, which you sometimes need to be able to get to different places that you wouldn't be able to get to if you were relying on building of one stone on the firm, solid foundation of another. Sometimes you need to do that and then reverse engineer how you got there. You need a leap of insight. You know, when Einstein imagined himself riding on a beam of light, he didn't imagine that by carefully putting one stone on top of another. He got the image. It was informed by everything he knew, but it wasn't joined up logically. He got the image and then reverse engineered the theory out of it. Same with Kekulé coming up with the benzene ring. He got the image and then reverse engineered what it might mean, leaping from one floating rock to another. Stepping on mushrooms as well, probably. Same with all those insights, those moments of illumination. Those kind of dream-like, mist-like plattings of ideas that take you from where you are to where you need to be. Sometimes you need to cantilever out into the unknown, and sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith and hope that the mist will support you. In dreams it does, sometimes.